Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode 12 of the Carrieroldanshow, where we spend 30 minutes or so a week having conversations that matter to the mompreneurs, body, mind, and business. I'm your host, Carrie Roldan, and I'm a wife, a mother, a best-selling author. Run yourself happy. Get your copy today. Um, a business consultant, a runner, a personal growth junkie, and your total business BFF. And I help busy mompreneurs to leverage their unique gifts and their limited time so that they can get their business off the ground, make an impact on the world, and help support their families as well. And since today's show is all about gift giving, I thought I would start off with a gift for you. So I am giving away 10 strategy sessions in the month of December. And so to qualify for one, all you need to do is email me at coachcarrieroldan@gmail.com. You can see that right there in my lower third, and request an application. I'll get that back to you, and we'll get you going. So I created the Carrie Roldan Show because I have stumbled and continue to on my entrepreneurial journey because the road to success thus far has been full of potholes, detours, and dead ends, not to mention self-doubt, a lot of that, by the way, fear, worry, debt, marital tension, a lot of that, by the way, too, and personal struggle. And I wanted to share what I continue to learn on my journey in the hopes that it will help others too. So you guys, I wholeheartedly believe in the mompreneurial dream, and I want to support others on the journey. And I've been asked recently, what is the mompreneurial dream? Well, for me, it's earning a good income from home, doing what I love, helping others to succeed, and still being present for my kids, being there to drop them off and pick them up from school. If you are not yet doing these things, then we got to talk, girlfriend. That's why I'm giving away the strategy sessions this month, because we moms need to support each other, and we need support in body, mind, and business. And the truth is, there are too many of us stretched way too thin. We're overworked, we're exhausted, and we're overwhelmed. And that is where I come in. So again, to qualify for this complimentary session, just email me at coachcarrieroldan@gmail.com, and I'll give you the application. Now, if you haven't noticed, recently I've been talking about anxiety. That's because this time of year it comes up. So today's topic is so perfect because it is how to ditch gift anxiety and still give incredible gifts this holiday season without breaking the bank. So let me come clean right now. I have gift giving anxiety. And more than that, I'm kind of a Grinch when it comes to this time of year, which I know is kind of shocking because I'm this like happy, upbeat, like lively, cheerful person. But oh my gosh, Grinch is actually a really nice word for the way I start to feel about holiday gift giving. And it's not even just the holidays. I get this way about birthdays too. It is totally not my love language, and just the obligation of it all seems to stress me out and give me anxiety. Maybe this speaks to a bigger control issue for me, but either way, it's on all of our minds right now, and we all have anxiety, whether it's about, maybe y'all don't, but a lot of us do have anxiety right now, whether it's about the budget or finding the right gift or just having the time to get it all done. And that is why I am so excited to have my friend Sherry on the show. Sherry, okay, I've talked to Sherry 1,000 times, and you guys who watch my show know this is now like becoming my Achilles heel. I believe we pronounced Sherry's last name Belul, but we'll have to ask her. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it, Sherry, because I always forget to ask my guests right before we start. Can you pronounce your name for me one more time? So anyways, I'm thrilled to have Sherry as my guest. She is the owner of Simply Celebrate, which is a company that encourages impactful gift giving and celebrating now. Because as Sherry says in her manifesto, which you have to go to her website and read, life is too short to wear beige panties. So to know Sherry is a gift in itself. You guys, we were online acquaintances for like a year before we actually quote unquote met in a hangout. And you'll see, I seriously can't wait to introduce her. One, because she's going to cure me of my Grinchiness, and you guys are going to all be like witnesses to it. But more than that, she has fantastic ideas for us this season to keep us insane. So I think I'm just going to stop my intro there because really I could go on and on and on. So Sherry, go ahead and unmute yourself and I will pop you up on the screen and we'll say hello.
Hi, Carrie. It's so good to get to talk to you live again, or semi-live.
Yeah, so you too, and thank you for being here. Sherry and I are both in California. I'm in Southern California, and she is in Northern California, in the Bay Area. And it's raining both places right now, which is great because we're in a drought. But we were like crossing our fingers because when it rains in California, it like all hell breaks loose. Nobody knows what to do. Technology goes to crap. We're just like we don't do well in the rain. So yay, we're both here.
We're both here, and you know what? I love your self-proclaimed Grinchness. I think that's awesome. I think maybe part of the whole problem, if you will, is that, people think that everything has to look a certain way at the holidays. We have to be a certain way. We all have to like be so incredibly happy about it all. So I'm really excited about your willingness to just say it like it is.
Well, so let me do that.
Please do.
Here is the deal, and I might just have to take this. I gotta get serious right now. So,
okay.
I'm taking it off. But here's the deal: um, okay, long story. Trying to condense it is Christmas at my house and the holidays was like this fun thing for the kids, but it was a really stressful time for my parents, and it was a tragic time for my dad actually because he lost his sister on Christmas Eve when he was 6 and she was 2. And so obviously that's something that he carried with him, and it was energy that sort of just came out, and he was grinchy around the holidays and never really, I think it's amazing that he didn't put it together until he was in his 50s that like that's why he didn't like Christmas. Because I think the story that he told himself and that he and my mom told themselves is we're just so busy, there's so much to do, there's so many obligations, and we don't have the money, and we can't, the whole Santa thing. And anyways, all that to be said is I'm sure that a lot of my grinchiness is excess childhood baggage, right? But there's this other component, which is, I dread the holidays, not because I dread being with family, not because I dread, like, once it's happening, I actually love it. But it's all of the getting worked up about it and the increased to-do list and the whole gift giving thing. So that's where I'm really stuck, is that gift giving is not my love language. It's not something that like I I'm much more likely to like speak words of affirmation or to give physical affection than to give a gift, than to like buy a gift, right? Which is why the holidays are so hard for me, is because there's this whole obligatory component, and there's like I have this much money to spend on gifts, and I have this many people on my list, and so it's like this just this game of like, all right, shop in the sales and whatever. So anyways, I'm going to let you speak to everything I've just said and just spew wisdom on me.
Well, actually, I think you just spewed your own wisdom, which is one of the things that I love to get people to think about, is that gifts do not have to be these material things that we buy at the mall. I think that one of the things that our society has gotten so focused on this idea of how the holidays look in general, but specifically around gift giving. And I think one of the things that I always start off with when I talk to people is that, we can do the holidays however we want. We're not obligated to have shopping lists and list of gifts to buy. We're not obligated to do anything, actually. And I think maybe one of the things is if we all started doing the holidays in ways that really worked for us, that really truly brought us joy. Like I heard you say, I love to be with my family. I love to give affirmations. I love to give people a great big hug and be present with them. So what if you thought of gift giving in those terms? How do you package those things in order to give the gifts that really feel right to you and that actually fuel you and not, drain you?
So, yes, I'm going to ask you that question that you just asked me, because I think that's where so many of us struggle, is I do love, like, oh, one of my favorite things to do is, which is I know one of the things that you encourage people to do, but is to write a love letter or to write, just, I love to write and I love to affirm. And so I love just to write somebody this letter of affirmation, telling them, this is what I see in you and this is what
Mm,
I appreciate about you. And I know you've done that for me. And it's funny because I
mm,
think you might be the first person to do that for me, just like randomly, right? And it
mm.
was, oh, it was such a gift that you just sent me a little audio appreciation, and it was, and you've done it actually more than once now, and oh my goodness, that filled me up and met me right where I needed to be met. And is something that I can have forever and something that I can go back to when I'm down and
Mm.
remember, like, okay, I'm on the right track. I mean, it was fantastic. But how do we do that? Like, whether it's the audio appreciation, or I think what I'm wanting to ask is I'm thinking of my family and my husband's family and their expectations of a present, of a physical thing being handed to them.
Well, right, and exactly, and you probably know this, and people who know me know. Like, so one of my all-time favorite gifts is called the Love List, and it's exactly what you're saying. I mean, I think it's exactly what people want and need and long for, and there are lots of ways to present a love list so that it is an actual gift. So first of all, just to tell people, a love list is basically a brainstorm what you love about people, and it can be things that you've learned from them, shared memories, their quirky traits, the list goes on, and I actually am offering a gift that will give people some ideas about how to do this.
Well,
But
it's in your lower third right now, right? Is that
oh yeah, that is it.
so?
That's right. Yeah, so people, if they go there, there's a video and there's a free download, and I give people all sorts of ideas. But let me just say, so some of the things, and I just had the pleasure of I coined last Friday the New Black Friday, and so people create all sorts of love lists with me on that day. And so people make things like they make what I call a joy jar. So you put each of your separate loves, what you love about them, on a pretty piece of paper. You find a beautiful jar, go to a thrift store. My goodness, you can find all sorts of quirky, crazy containers, that really match who someone is. If they're a little more conservative, you get a beautiful crystal vase at a thrift store. You know what I mean? Whatever. And then you put all of your loves in there, and they can pull one out every day for the whole month of January. You
I love
know,
that.
it's very simple. It doesn't have to cost. I mean, it can cost $2 if you buy something, or you probably have something around the house. People have made, and you can, again, this will be in the free download, but people have made fortune cookie love list, which, again, it's very inexpensive to do. You put each of the things you love inside of a fortune cookie for people to open. That is a really
Oh,
fun gift.
and that's so great for me being, right, the mompreneur, thinking, what, I don't,
Exactly.
oh, what a great thing to give the grandparents, or the, like, a fun thing that we're all doing together, we're making. And then I don't know about homemade fortune cookies, but like they don't go bad for a really long time. So
They
something,
don't. They don't. And it is, you're right. Like, I'm glad you said that. Like, I have loved, my son is now 14, but ever since he was little, we've made love lists together as a family for people. And it's really fun. Like, so maybe we make some hot chocolate and we sit down around a table and people just throw things out. He'll say, oh, I just love the way that Nana always, plays in the snow with us, or whatever. And it's teaching our kids while we're doing it. I mean, we're giving a gift, but we're also teaching each other how to appreciate, which I think, again, is one of your really strong points, right? And that I'm sure you want to pass on to your children. And it's also, what it is showing ourselves and our children that gift giving doesn't have to, again, it doesn't have to come from a mall. And I think that's a really important thing for us all to remember.
okay, so that's a really good point, because here's where I'm sitting. I'm with you. Like, I am so with you in terms of and I think what I hear you saying is, like, hey, let yourself off the hook. Stop trying to perfect it all, because I told you this in the green room, or maybe previously, but I actually enjoy finding the perfect gift for somebody. Like, I think that speaks to me wanting to know somebody really well. And when I
Mm.
know you really well, I want to find the right thing to really show you that I appreciate you, I know you, I was listening when you said that 6 months ago, whatever it is, I want to find that perfect gift for somebody. Um, and sometimes they're just at Christmas time, there isn't that. And or whatever it is you celebrate. You see I have my tree in the background. But um so I'm in this place, right, of like wanting to check people off my list and wanting to make sure that they're not uh that it's not. I'm struggling with this tit for tat, that like, oh, they
Ah,
spent $100 on their gift to me and I spent, zero on my gift to them. I wrote them a love list and I found something like and me being okay with that. So help me out.
yes. Well, okay. So I think first of all, look inside yourself. Like first of all, like I know for myself, and I think I could speak for a lot of people I know, that we have so much stuff. Almost everyone I know struggles with just having stuff, and frankly, getting a lot of gifts that even if people spend $100, it just doesn't hit the mark. What I think we all are longing for is to spend really great time with people. I think across the board, everyone I know always says this: I don't have enough time with people I love. I don't have enough time. When I spend time with friends and we're just like sitting by a fire, sharing a glass of wine, or just, hanging out, we're all like, oh my God, this is so nice, this is so nice, this is so nice. And my thing is, what if we package that for people? So particularly January, which is a really bleak time. People get so depressed in January. What if we give people a beautiful handmade or computer made, however you want to do it, a beautiful photo certificate for some sort of really great personal adventure that we spend with them in January? And you can't put a price tag on it, right? So you can't really say like, oh, but it didn't cost anything, because it's all the thought and it's the idea for me to look forward to doing something with someone I love in January, like some, random day in January, and they're going to take me, say they give me a certificate, they're like, hey, let's take our cameras and go for a walk, and let's shoot some photos together, and then we'll share them afterwards, and maybe we'll just go hang out at a cafe and listen to music. That's heaven. That is
Yeah.
heaven for me. And if you create something tangible that you give someone, it is a gift. I mean, it becomes like this thing that they can look forward to. And those are all, I'm always trying to get people to think of things. Like, when you were mentioning the grandparents,
Mm-hmm.
what do grandparents want? They want time with their family. And they want time when
Yeah.
you're present, not when people are like, their minds are somewhere else. And so it's like really thinking of who they are and, what kind of day would they just love with with their family.
I'm so glad you said that because I feel like I'm spewing all my stuff to you right now because I feel like my kids' grandparents get a lot of time with them, but it's when I need babysitting. And
Mm.
like that's not the same thing. So mom, dad, in-laws, I hope you're not watching. And my mother-in-law watches, so um, but yeah, I agree with that. Like, oh, that's a good gift because it's not, hey, we need you to babysit. Lucky you, you get your grandkids. But I'm honoring you, Grandma, and what you care about, and we're gonna do something special with you and for you. And you're right, that would be really good. And it feels different because I think what I've struggled with is my kids make like the gift certificate books at school and give them to us and we're like, oh, thank you, that's so nice, but we never like really cash in the gift certificates, or when
Oh,
we or if we try to, they're like, no, I don't. And so it is picking something, right, that is like you said, the adventure, or even it could be something that is going to happen later. I keep thinking about it would be so nice to pick a specific event, like a concert, or we're going to go to the street fair tonight together, or this is going to kill my husband because I'm really sure my mother-in-law loves solving. And I know this because it is like the source of my
yes.
husband. Like he hates it there because his childhood memories were like waiting for his mom in like needlepoint shops. But to do something like that would be exactly what you're talking about, and yeah, and low cost but high impact.
That's exactly. Or, when you were talking, the thing that just dropped in my mind too, that I'm sure I've said to you before, that our family does. So we travel, we have relatives back east and we travel back there. And we have something we call the holiday hoopla. So instead of buying
Love
gifts for
that.
everybody, we plan a day that is just filled with fun things to do. Like, so one year we did a Survivor, the reality show. We did a spoof on that where we had like crazy games that people did.
Love
Last
it.
year we wrote a murder mystery that was specific to our family that had a lot of details of our family. So people had to solve the murder mystery. We've done variety shows and carnivals. And it's a way to create sort of one big day. So we have a lot of fun planning it. And, so instead of gifts, we have these wonderful memories. And my niece just wrote to me, and I love this because she's been coming to these for years. And she's like, so excited about what we're going to do this year. And she's already talking to my son about like who's going to carry on this tradition in the years to come. So that's another thing, is just creating a day of, joyful things and taking photographs that you can send afterwards, maybe frame one really special photo, something like that.
I think you're really onto something with and there's so many creative ways to do that now. And I have to say hi to Catherine and Alan, who are both busily commenting. And you guys, I say this every week, I still haven't figured out my comment tracker issues. It's just low on the priority list, but I'm watching your comments, seeing them, wishing I could bring them on screen. So a couple of things. Technology has made it so much easier now for us to do that, right? To take a really special event or moment and turn it into an actual tangible object. And I know that's something you do really well, and I promise I'm going to give you a chance to talk about it. But we're almost out of time, and so I want to just tell everyone, can you not feel Sherry's energy? Can you not feel like how flipping rad would it be to be in her family? And the family reunion every year isn't in like the back of the Olive Garden, but it's like this murder mystery thing, and she's full of fantastic stuff like that. So if this is appealing to you, you are going to need to get in contact with her. The other thing, she didn't even know I had this or I was going to do it, but yes, this is her book. It's fantastic. You should get it. It's called Simply Celebrate, 101 Simple Ways to Turn Extraordinary Days into an Extraordinary Life. And it's just so cute and amazing and so full of her, which you can probably tell already. You already love her because you've seen her on the show and she's rad. So Sherry, I want to tell you what Catherine is saying.
Yay!
Because it's good stuff. So she says, this is such a great conversation. There are so many ways to support people in ways that don't involve the usual mindless gifts that people tend to think they have to give each other. And then she goes on, sorry, that's my dog. Then she goes on to say, for me, if someone calls and is really present, takes time to have a really nice, juicy conversation with me, this is worth hundreds, no thousands, of dust collecting trinkets, even if it's only a couple times a year. And I think that just speaks to the thing that we're all afraid to give each other, right? We're like we know this intuitively. That's what I would want. Don't buy me a sweater. Like, make time for me. Let's do something meaningful. And yet, at least speaking for myself, I'm a little afraid, right? If I don't give you a sweater, you might feel bad about it.
I love that. Thank you for reading that. What a beautiful comment. And it's I mean, the more that we talk about it, I love this, that it's like the more we talk about it, the more we all remember, like, yes, that is a real gift and that is really what we want.
Yeah, amen to that. So I still have you on the screen and we have about 5 minutes left. So I just want to ask you to tell people how they can get a hold of you, how they can, I'm guessing people watching this show, I know for me, the minute you started talking about your family thing, I was like, oh, I want that. I need that. How do I go about creating that? So can you tell us?
Well, definitely. So you'll see right here by my name, I've put the URL for where people can go to download the love list and some ideas for presenting that, which is a great place to start. And when people do that, they also start receiving other creative ideas like this, so they'll be on my mailing list. And I always encourage people. I love when people email me and tell me like ideas that they have and sharing them. And I've been collecting stories of one-of-a-kind gifts that I'm going to be sharing with people. So if someone gets on my mailing list, I love sharing these kinds of conversations.
So that URL is simply celebrate. I'm putting Sherry back on so you can see it. .net and then slash love. And Sherry, I just a personal question for you, which is without revealing. Well, maybe you can't tell me. Tell me if you can tell me. How's that?
Ooh,
Um,
okay.
just without revealing who it's for. What is the gift that you are giving this? Oh, we didn't talk about ninja poetry, so we have to do that. But what's the gift you're giving this year that you are just so thrilled about giving? Can you disclose, or is that person going to watch this?
Yeah, I better not because I really want everyone to watch this show.
Okay, and you are like red now because you like
Ooh,
got
I
worried
am.
about.
I did because I was afraid. Woo!
Okay, so never mind that. Tell because this is a great gift that you've given me. Tell us what ninja poetry is.
Well, you alluded to the audio notes. One of the things that I love to do is to leave people audio notes. And usually it's a way for me to express my appreciation. Like for you, for your energy, this show, the work you do. I think that was when I was first meeting you. To me, that's a gift, right? And so acknowledging it through an audio note. And when I leave audio notes, I love to leave what I call ninja poetry. And I love poetry. And I think it's a way, again, to slow down, especially when we're talking about busy moms. It's like I feel like it's a way to give a little mini vacation to someone. So I usually will just read a poem that intuitively feels right at the time for the person. And again, like I love that this is coming back up because to me, that's one of the gifts I love to give people.
And I need to close up, but I just want to say about the ninja poetry. Maybe you guys aren't super into poetry. I am actually not. I don't read a ton of it. I'm an appreciator of poetry, but Sherry has twice since I've known her sent me something, right? The first time she saw one of my
Hmm.
shows. It was such an affirmation. I was so nervous. It was must have been one of my very first shows. Like,
Hmm.
why am I doing this? Am I qualified? And she just like breathed everything that I was hoping to hear, right, came out of what she said.
Hmm.
And the poem was the right poem at the right moment. And then again, like later when I was launching my book, and she just said, she reviewed my book. What a gift, right, to do that. She reviewed the book and then she said, I just need to tell you. And again, she just poured out everything,
Oh.
all my, like it was the antidote to every single one of my insecurities. And again, that poem hit me in just the right spot. So I think
Hmm.
what I'm saying is if you guys feel moved by something, you can make a big difference. It can be a big gift to somebody else just to do. I mean, she just gets on, records herself, and kind of rambles on and says, you know,
It's
it,
true.
it's not like she's got this scripted thing, and it is super impactful. Okay, I want to. I promise, guys, we're closing up, but I just want to say hello to Alan, and he says something important. He says, I always keep in mind with my female friends, keep that in mind with my female friends. He's responding to Catherine about being present and
Hmm.
offering them like the eye to eye, the one on one. And he says with his male friends, doing an activity. You know, he feels like that's kind of women like eye to eye. This is my words, not him, but women like this and men like shoulder to shoulder.
Ah.
And so pointing that out, and that's just, you know, a gift in being sensitive to that. Okay, so to wrap up, Sherry, thank you so much for being on the show.
Hmm.
Again, you guys, you've got to connect with her. And to get started with your love list and all of this woman is so giving. So just get on her mailing list. Go to simplycelebrate.net/love and connect with Sherry. And then, guys, I have a gift for you. And that is, which me, the Grinch, right? And we talked about it. Grinch is the nice way of saying it. I have a gift for you in December, and that is I know that one of the best ways to get myself out of my funk is to lift other people up, to support other people. And so
Hmm.
that's what I'm doing. So the gift of my gift this December is strategy sessions with you guys. And all you need to do to get one is email me at coachcarrieroldan@gmail.com. Send me just a little message saying, hey, send me the application for the strategy session. Yes, there's an application because my time is valuable and limited, and I want to make sure you're really serious and that you actually want it and you're not just
Hmm.
signing up for free stuff. So I'll send you the application, but if you are worthy and deserving, which I'm sure you are, we'll get a time scheduled for you to have a 20 to 30-minute strategy session with me. That's my gift to you in December. So we are here. We are 1 minute over, which is actually really great for me. So high five, Sherry.
Woo!
You have to do it again because you weren't on screen. So high five again.
Oh, woo!
And there it is. Thank you guys for being here. Catherine and Alan, thank you so much for your engagement. Everybody else, it would be a huge gift to me if you would please share this video, whether you're watching it in Facebook, in YouTube, or on the event page, or you found it some other way. Share the love, share me, share Sherry, and that is a gift to all involved. So thank you guys for being here. Here's a huge virtual hug. I will see you all next week when I talk to Warren Broad about, guess what, more anxiety around the holidays and really how we can do more of what Sherry's talking about, right? Get in touch, cure ourselves of the anxiety, basically. That's what we're going to get to. He's amazing. You're going to need to be here because he, too, has written a fabulous book. We'll be talking all about it. But, yeah, getting out of our holiday anxiety and the stuff that drives us crazy this time of year. So thank you, Sherry, for your gift tidbits. Thank you, everybody else, for being here. And this is me, Carrie Roldan, signing out. I will see you next week. Talk to you later.